Well, it seems like every month we're going to have more and more people going to have trouble paying their mortgages and their rent and all kinds of things. So I want to make sure everybody knows about what's in the new laws to protect you. Because if you owe your mortgage or your rent to a landlord or something, I mean, you don't stand a chance in arguing with them or whatever. So you have to know your rights, and that's what I want to show you. See, the new law, that they passed in Congress, gives you all kinds of new rights to deal with this, and you could get up to like 12 months and not pay anything, and not even have, fees and fines and interest rates and all that kind of stuff. But it's knowing the law, and you don't have to know it precisely, but you just have to know where to get the information and who to talk to also to help you interpret this, because I'm not a lawyer or anything. I never even played one on TV or whatever. I was going to go to law school, but I did so badly in the LSATs. I couldn't get into, an ice cream store. Anyway, so here's where you want to go to find out about this information. There's a great organization called the National Consumer Law Center. And they have a report, the major consumer protections announced in this new law. And I'm going to put the link. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're not a Let's Go Help member, I have a report on all this for Let's Go Help members. But if you're not a member, I want to make sure you get this, because there's so many things in this law that you have to know about it. In other words, like if your mortgage is backed by the U.S. government, and like 2/3 of all mortgages are, so your chances are pretty good that it's backed. You can request to stop making payments. That's called forbearance for up to 180 days, and then get another 180 days. Wow, so that's a long time. Okay, now also, if your mortgage is backed by the U.S. Government and your mortgage holder cannot foreclose on you, for 60 days. So there's laws that they can't foreclose or kick you out or any of these things, eviction. So they can't evict you. And so all these kinds of things that are going on. Okay. Also, landlords, if you're a landlord, people renting from you, you're also protected too. And listen to this. If you're a renter and the landlord is getting one of these deals from his mortgage company, they can't, they can't kick you out either. So lots of this, a lot of things here. Now, if you can't pay the rent, your landlords cannot start evictions or charge late fees for non-payment for up to 120 days. Okay, so remember that if you're a renter, you have rights that they can't charge late fees or evict you and things like that. But see, learn about it. It's all the details. It's pretty easy to understand too. I understood it, and I flunked English in college. So you can. Okay, how do you determine if your mortgage is backed by a federal government? Well, in there it shows you how to do that. Now, also, most federal agents or the federal government wants other people with regular mortgages, those mortgage companies, to do the same thing. And that's important. So the Federal Reserve and other people, so you have to talk to your mortgage company too about doing all these things. It's on a basis that it's up to them, because the government can't do a lot, but a lot of them are. So this is, you want to keep talking to them. Okay, the government bank regulators want mortgage companies to give homeowners a break, and it won't be counted against the bank as a bad loan. See, a lot of time, you're trying to get your mortgage company and saying it's not a government mortgage covered that you have, and you're not paying. Well, so you're assuming that it's going to go to your credit report and make it bad. See, this kind of stuff, it's not. They can't send it to the credit report and tell you you're a bad guy because you couldn't pay, during the COVID problem. So that's another protection to you. Plus, besides, and that's just the federal. Now, states are doing even more. So there's state governments, every state, and in this report there's a listing, state by state by state. What because you're in a certain state, so you have federal level programs that protect you. Then you have a state level, so you got to figure out what those states are, and they're all listed right there. A whole list of states to do it. More states are being added all the time, so that's important. Now, there's another thing that's happening because of this, and what's called is rent strikes. I look at this headline on NBC News: "Is survival. Tenants and landlords brace for the largest rent strike in decades." People are striking not to pay the rent. Okay, what the hell are the landlords going to do? You get 80% of the buildings said, no, we're not paying the rent. They don't have many options. They have to figure out what to do. Okay, how do you find about that? Here's something I forgot about that. Nothing bad happens to you on your credit report. Okay, that's in that other report. Okay, here's a great link here that it's called the emergency tenant protections and rent strikes. And this is everywhere in the United States where they're striking. I mean, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of these places. People are organizing and get to do. I mean, just think. See, I mean, the little guy has little effort. First of all, they don't know the law. And you have to hire an attorney at $10,000 or whatever to learn the law. And you're finding somebody who has that attorney. So you don't. So that's why it's important to at least get a feeling for what is on your side in the law. And then to argue with these people, you got to find people known. That's why these nonprofit organizations, and they're the people that give free legal advice. Then I show you how to get the free legal advice for all these. Free legal advice for debt counseling. So anything, hey, mortgage, don't pay, things like that, your HUD counselors will do that for you. So if you go to HUD.gov and ask that. And also, if you go to 211.org and put in housing and you have problems with that, there's free legal help, a lot of free legal help for that. And also here, but be careful about debt relief companies. So many people, I got mortgage, you're going to get tied up in the internet with some debt relief company. And I got a report here that shows you, man, the #1 debt relief company in America turned out to be a huge scam. And they had to pay $25 million to people. Stay away from them. Use all the free stuff first. Now, here's another interesting source called the National Housing Law Project. And they're really organizing a lot of tenants' rights. And if you go to their website, which is nhlp.org, and you'll see their campaigns they have out. And there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of help in there here. Protecting renter and homeowner rights during the national health crisis. Federal eviction moratorium. They can't convict you. See, this is more details and all this stuff. Is a property covered by a federal moratorium? It tells you how to do that. State and local eviction moratorium. See, you can't evict you at the state and local level. So what's going on there? Tools for tenant advocates. You want to get all the people in your building and strike or whatever, because nobody can pay rent anyway. Homeowner protection and resources, that's available here. See, and these are not lawyers going to charge you $200 an hour to find out the law. These are people who probably wrote the law and they help you for free. Advocates here, protect seniors from with reverse mortgages. Implement immediate tenant and homeowner protection. All these kinds of things. So that's it. You want to go out, see, and these things are not going to show up in Google because this is a .org. So that means they're not paying Google for you to find them. So that's why you have to find these organizations. They're not going to find you to help you for free, because then they have to pay Google. And if they're spending all their money on helping people, they don't have money to give to Google. And that's what I have. That's what I'm trying to do with Let's Go Help, is show you, man, I got one place now. It's a closed Facebook group, that all we have there are sources like this that give you money and help, not sources that want your money, and that's what I think we need more in this country. I mean, everybody's trying to make a buck. We all have to feed ourselves. I understand That's true. But there's limits to that, and that's what we have to watch, I believe. But that's a biased viewpoint. But I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Oh, I do charge. Oh, so I'm a hypocrite. Now, I got to keep, how else am I going to keep going? That's what I want to do. If I'm not self-supporting, that means I'm not doing something right, and I got to figure out something else, that people really need. So that's why I try to charge as little as possible to get this. And oh gosh, let me help you.